Buen día, linces cósmicos. Pues aquí estamos jugando de nuevo una partida de un nuevo juego que la verdad me llama mucho la atención, porque es un juego que curiosamente salió en el, si no mal recuerdo, 2019. Fue como muy... pues es muy bueno, de hecho, pero fue como que pasó desapercibido. Y la verdad pues es un juego que va a ser muy interesante. Yo la verdad estaba muy emocionado de jugarlo. Bueno, estoy muy emocionado de jugarlo. Y es un juego como... la mejor descripción que tengo es como si fuera un libro interactivo. Inclusive es un juego que tiene muchas ramificaciones. Es decir, es un juego donde de una sola acción, de una sola elección, pueden surgir 10 caminos distintos. Un ejemplo, porque este es un juego de detectives, un ejemplo. Detienes a alguien y tú decides si lo matas, si lo liberas, si lo interrogas, si le dices que te mande a la guarida de sus compañeros, que te lo desarmes, o sea, tiene varias opciones, ¿no? Y eso es algo que me gusta mucho y que se ha perdido con el tiempo, ¿no? Ya los juegos son muy lineales y sin importar qué hagas, si es una acción buena o mala, de todos modos el resultado siempre es el mismo. Y aquí la ventaja es que no, incluso obtienes distintos finales y pasan cosas distintas dependiendo de tus propias acciones. Tus acciones tienen un peso. Y bueno, y para resumirles también, pues es un juego de detectives. Entonces, bueno, sí hay acción, pero obviamente no voy a estar como en un shooter disparando a diestra y siniestra, ¿no? También tiene que ver mucho con los diálogos, ¿no? Y por eso les decía que es como un libro interactivo, y obviamente este no es un juego para todos, porque todos tenemos gustos diferentes. Entonces vamos a iniciar una partida. De hecho aquí podemos elegir nuestros atributos, pero yo voy a personalizarlo por atributos que sean más tirando la inteligencia y emocional. Obviamente quisiera también que estuviera equilibrado, como debería de ser como todo ser humano, la inteligencia y el físico, ¿no? Como los griegos que podían irse a la ágora, ahí a ¿cómo se llama? A filosofiar, y después les llamaban para la guerra y les daban una lanza y ándale, ¿no? Aviéntate, porque tenían el físico para hacerlo, ¿no? Pero pues bueno, eso es algo que se ha perdido con el tiempo. Y vean, pésima constitución. Yo quisiera que tuviera más, pero no podemos, ¿no? Porque esto es para mí más importante primero esto. Si pudiera le ponía más, y a este le puse porque aunque podría dejarlo en 1, sí es necesario tener buena motricidad. Entonces así va a ser nuestro personaje. Y como pueden ver, aquí están las habilidades que se desprenden de estos grandes atributos. Y nos piden elegir un atributo principal. No, habilidad principal. Que para mí sería esta. A mí me gusta más esta porque pues así soy en la vida real. Con todo lo bueno y malo que es, ¿no? Que es a veces que comprendas mucho a la gente, pero a la gente a ti no te comprenda ni intereses, ¿no? Pero bueno, vayamos para allá. Espero que les guste. Las furias habitan en el espejo, es su morada. Pues hasta en el agua más clara, si es lo bastante profunda, puede ahogar.
There is nothing, only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it, no larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever.
Nunca, jamás de los jamases.
Never, ever, ever, baby.
Baby.
An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it.
¿Qué has dicho de una ex no sé qué?
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and shameful. A ball of meat surrounding you.
No, quiero saber lo de la ex lo que sea.
Ex-love. Ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Stay. Sail with me through the abyss of pelagic zone.
No, quiero bajarme ya. Me gusta el dolor, la luz ardiente y querer cosas de gente ¿Qué no quiere dar?
Do you really?
Ojo, ojo. No seas ingenuo, claro que no. Ah, no. Sí, déjame bajar.
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not sense yourself marinating? Poured so much on yourself, got a bit carried away, did we, Chef?
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
¿Insinúas que yo me he hecho esto?
Yes, your one disco mother.
Dime, ¿qué es lo que me espera?
There's this giant ball there. And evil apes. And the evil apes are juking it out on the ball. You're one of them. It's basically all just evil apes juking it out on a giant ball.
¿Cómo de grande es la
You
pelota?
can't even make out it's a ball when you're joking it out. It's that large.
Son muy pequeños los simios.
Infinitesimally small.
Eso que dices de andar a la gresca, ¿de qué va?
Vying for resources. It's just a stupid expression you picked up somewhere. The part of the presentation you want to take home with you is this. You have to beat the other evil apes in the face. Or you lose.
Pues qué triste.
Yes, it is. And you drowned in that sadness a
Sí, ¿no? Yo
long
supongo que hacen
time
referencia a
ago.
esa competencia enfermiza en todo. ¿Cómo que me ahogué?
You lost.
The sound outside. You recognize it. It's a caprice.
Qué incómoda posición. Mira. Excelente. Mira, cuerpo como Silverio. No sé si alguien conoce ese extremadamente buen artista. Es un hombre de arte, el güey. Mucho perfil griego. Bueno, tiene un poco de fuerza, ¿no? Pero bueno. Pantalones.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pants.
Charles Man.
It says, whirling in rags, on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key on the ring. The number 1 is etched on it. It should open the door.
Porque vamos a utilizar esto para vestirlo, el pobre cuate. Blazer disc. Ok.
This fan has 2 chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the
Pobre
blades.
corbata.
Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world.
Ok, pues. Miren lo que les decía. Aquí en los diálogos con personas o así, nuestros diálogos internos, tenemos estas opciones blancas que son como jugadas de dados. Hay probabilidades. Podemos incluso tener el 92 y fallar y el 3% y acertar. Porque así son las probabilidades. Pero obviamente entre mejor sean nuestras habilidades, pues mayor tenemos probabilidad de sacar la jugada. En este caso es baja. Entonces lo que me conviene es pues apagar el ventilador, ¿no?
The blades come squeaking to a halt.
Ahí está, ya subió
It
más.
should be easier to reach the tie now. You reach out to grab the tie, but what's this? Diffuse, radiating chest pain. Doom comes over you.
La fallamos.
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading to your left arm, your jaw.
Seguro que solo son ardores.
No.
Oh, joder.
It's many years of combined self-neglect and self-abuse.
Intentar permanecer
All
consciente.
you feel is pain and weakness. You have to surrender now. We all do. It gets so dark. You don't. Cop suffers final heart attack. A detective lieutenant of the RCM passed away yesterday. His death, though abrupt, did not come as a surprise to those who knew him. He was the heaviest drinker I'd ever met. Captain Ptolemy Price, the deceased superior officer, commented, "That ain't easy, Undertaker." He loved.
Ah, sí, ok, entonces, pues... Excelente. Pues nos morimos. Y otra vez a poner estos puntos. Súper bien. Hasta donde tengo entendido, creo que solo al principio podemos morirnos así. Después no tengo idea. Vamos a ver. Ya había visto una review. Ojo, no spoilers, porque no quería jugar el juego. No sé los spoilers de este juego. O sea, no sé la trama principal o el final, pero sí había visto una review donde decían algo de que te podías morir por hacer eso. Pues vamos allá de nuevo. Lo demás es lo que ya vimos de los diálogos, así que me voy un poco rápido.
Never an inordinate amount of time. There. No ball of coming right up, sir. Smooth. Do you really?
You wouldn't like.
Fear and apprehension. You should ask what's out there first.
Yes. There's this giant ball. You can't even. Infinitesimally small. Vying for resource. Yeah.
The sound outside.
Ahora sí, regresamos. Creo que antes de hacer eso de la corbata voy a guardar partida. Ahorita veo cómo hacerlo. Estuvo medio extraño. Bueno, primero vamos a vestirlo para que muera con dignidad si nos vuelve a pasar.
You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the pocket of your flare-cut pant. It says, "Whirling in rags," on the alum.
Una botella enorme de Comodoro rojo. Está vacía. Parece que alguien arrancó la cinta mientras sonaba la canción. Se ve repente. El magnetófono está encendido, pero no tiene cinta. Oh, un zapato. Literalmente, uno.
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside.
La rompí con las manos.
A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent.
Entonces, ¿qué provocó esto?
More likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact.
Evaluar la magnitud del
It
impacto.
is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. The single green shoe you found fits the hole almost as well as your foot. It would have also been heavy enough if thrown with force.
Sí, o sea, también fuimos nosotros.
Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, you could still find the other one on the balcony outside. The door to it should be outside your room.
Debería salir y coger el zapato.
Cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold.
Hay varias botellas en la bañera. Vino, cerveza y licores dulces.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base and steam covers the mirror. You cannot see yourself, just the outline of a man. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor.
¿De verdad? ¿Nada?
Really, all recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was a deluge of world-ending proportions.
O sea que se embriagó tanto que no recordamos quiénes somos ni dónde estamos. Desempañar el espejo.
As you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it.
Primero debería palpar para asegurarme de que no hay nada malo en mi jeta.
Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it.
¿El qué? ¿Qué pasa?
Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin.
Lo siento, tocarte la nariz.
Bet you are. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly tiny nose either. Not with all the drinks it's absorbed for you.
Por lo menos mi lengua está bien.
It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your fingers.
Desempañar el espejo a la de ya.
Behold.
Ya que somos hermosos.
You have no idea who this thing is, do you?
Pues claro que lo sé. Es una especie de superestrella o algo así. Me da que soy una superestrella.
It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression with that face? Why?
Creo que podría deberse a que soy una superestrella.
Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself.
No, esto es lo que hacen las superestrellas.
You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. You have worn that grin into your face, and now it won't come off. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey?
Otra vez puedo decir superestrella. Superestrellato. No, espera. Insinúo que soy vagamente comprensivo. Creo que además lo consigo. Con un punto triste y trasnochado. Oye, tienes un encanto.
There might have been, 10 years ago. It's little more than a cadaverous spasm now. It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neurological miracle for you to cease producing it.
Ok, a ver si podemos esto. Ahondar en lo más profundo de tu mente y rastrear la fuente de la expresión.
Like the rest of you, it comes
Vayamos
from a
también.
bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now.
¿Y esta es una puerta? No, no podemos abrir. Bueno, ya casi terminamos de vestirnos. Creo que todos sabemos qué es lo que nos falta. Así es, la estúpida corda. A ver, déjame ver. Guardado rápido, excelente. A ver si no nos morimos. Otra vez.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself, or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend, and wants to reattach itself to your neck, so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world. The blades come squeaking to a halt. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. Warning, warning, the necktie is no longer contained. What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. The knot reminds you of a noose. If it's your friend, why was it up there? Who ties their friend to a ceiling fan? Maybe this thing is dangerous somehow.
Peligrosa.
An ominous, foreboding feeling fills you as you look at the tie.
Es la famosa corbata. La corbata presenta un patrón llamativo. Es inquietantemente vívida. No sabes por qué, pero sientes que sería un error llegar a quitarla. Es tu amiga y se sentiría traicionada si la cambiaras por una bufanda aburrida. Ok. Y tenemos que encontrar nuestros amigos. Pues no hay nada más interesante en la habitación, entonces pues salgamos. Necesita tomar agua o algo. Dinero. Vayamos por nuestro zapato. El olor de la brisa marina te provoca náuseas. Listo, tenemos nuestros dos
There they
zapatos.
both are. 2 identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin, like 2 baby crocodiles.
¿Cómo me quedan?
Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told.
Ok, genial. Vamos.
Hello, officer.
Según el calendario, estamos en marzo del 51. Supongo que 1951, 2051.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out on the city.
Agente, soy militar.
No.
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
Espera, ya sé. Soy un hombre de negocios, agente inmobiliario. ¿A que sí?
The young woman shakes her head slowly. Officer could be an artistic statement. You're already prone to those.
Agente es mi nombre artístico, ¿verdad? La verdad es que me veo como una estrella de disco llamada El Agente.
No. You're a police officer, sir.
¿Estás segura?
I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies all this time.
Todo este tiempo.
You've been here for 3 days. On official police business, no less.
¿Y qué asuntos son esos?
Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking.
You have no doubt about the drinking. But do you strike yourself as a tight-lipped drunk? She must have heard something.
Puede que no sepa dónde estoy, quién soy o qué es un coprisquinema, aunque sepa cómo suena.
She nods.
Pero sé cuando alguien no me cuenta toda la historia. ¿Qué hago aquí? ¿En qué caso estoy trabajando?
There's a mercenary out back. He's been hanged. The body has been there for a week now. The locals probably got tired of it and called the cops.
She speaks matter-of-factly, but there's a sadness in her voice.
¿Por qué no me lo has dicho antes?
I didn't mean to overwhelm you with information. You seem a bit lost, officer.
¿Por qué no recuerdo ser policía ni cualquier otra cosa?
Could it be because of the drinking?
¿Quién en su sano juicio me permitiría ser agente de la ley?
Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
A glib remark. Don't let it stand. Assert yourself.
De hecho, entiendo por qué me han confiado la ley. Tengo la personalidad
A
idónea.
fondness for contradictory statements.
Me pareció notar cierta tristeza en ti cuando hablaste sobre el ahorcado. Otros no lo habrían notado.
But I wasn't sad.
¿Segura? Y esta es una tirada roja que se supone que solo podemos hacer una vez, no podemos reintentar. Tenemos 42%, pero la voy a dejar pasar para hacerla después. Digo, no sé qué vaya a pasar. Dice, probar la expresión con ella. No sé si sea buena idea. No es mejor. Debería marcharme ya.
Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
She looks back at you, a light glinting off her eyes.
Goodbye.
Adiós. Se ha dejado una rica colilla en el cenicero. Todavía está humeando. Ok.
The door is closed. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside.
Irte. Bueno. Vamos a seguir explorando. Es la edición del fin de semana del periódico satírico Trompe le Monde. Mejor vamos a bajar. Ok, hay bastante gente abajo. El arte de este juego, la neta, joder, sí es cine. La puerta de verano permanecerá cerrada durante el invierno. Un gran micrófono de karaoke a la espera de que alguien se arranque a cantar. Es el atril para la letra. El altavoz está conectado a la radio. La música está empañada por la estatua.
You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul.
Mi alma es inmensa.
Utterly. And it needs to be heard through a PA system. By other people.
Esto cuadra con una teoría que estoy desarrollando. Que soy una superestrella caída en desgracia.
Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage and pose for a moment when you're done with this thought. See if it works.
¿Qué debería cantar si se diera el caso?
You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. Don't worry.
Una canción triste o feliz. Un lamento es lo que hace falta. Con eso atisbarán la profundidad de mi alma. ¿Feliz? No, un lamento es lo que hace falta. Con eso atisbarán la profundidad de mi alma.
Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing now? No one. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though.
Terminar pensamiento. Bueno. El suave ronroneo de un exprimidor eléctrico. Hay alguien trabajando en la cocina. Es un refrigerador de agua. Una gran burbuja emerge en la superficie. El menú solo tiene escritas la palabra lunes. El resto está borrado. El menú de ayer lo escribió una mujer. El de hoy tiene la letra de hombre. La puerta está cerrada con llave. Un letrero dice, cocina reservada para el personal. Hasta la 1. Vamos a hablar con este cuerpo.
A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter, inspecting a stuffed seabird. As you approach, he gives you a sideways glance, then looks down again. That was disdain in his eyes. Even now he is purposely ignoring you. Looks like he's not a fan.
¿Qué pasa? ¿No te mola el agente?
Oh no, you're a hero. A real hero cop.
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Obviamente está siendo sarcástico, pero vamos a seguirle el juego. Así que además de policía, también soy un héroe.
Yes, you are. A real decorated hero.
¿Qué hice?
What did you not do? First you took the body down, then you solved the murder, then you didn't trash my hostel room. Maybe you even negotiated the strike.
Oh, Dios mío, ¿yo he hecho todo eso?
No, you see, actually, you didn't. You haven't done anything even remotely useful since you got here.
¿Qué andaba haciendo entonces? ¿Me ha visto por aquí?
No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here.
Mirar el ave
A
disecada.
competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters and drying mugs. One of its wings broken. The man is trying to mend it. Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield that was used to mount it, most likely on a wall. This is the Great Skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery of the Insulindian Isola, the part of the world you are in right now.
Okay.
Something about it makes you feel bitter.
¿Qué le ha pasado al pájaro?
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
Soy policía y hablo con quien me dé la gana.
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating on the bird instead.
Momentito, ¿eh? ¿Eres el camarero?
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria manager.
Tienes toda la pinta de un camarero.
That period of my life is over. Not everyone who stands behind a counter is a bartender, okay? I'm the cafeteria manager.
¿Cuál es la diferencia?
I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in.
¿Dónde ha ido esa tal Sylvie?
She just, you know.
His eyes dart from left to right. This man isn't lying, but he is hiding something.
¿Ella qué?
So now you're a cop. Oh, forget it.
Bueno, no va a querer hablar. Vamos. Vamos, ¿sí? Es una botella de ron volcada. Su hermoso y oscuro líquido está derramándose. Un hombre duerme sobre la mesa. Lleva unas botas cubiertas de barro por encima del mono. En la parte posterior de su camiseta hay un logotipo de un árbol que rodea las palabras Wild Pines.
On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine.
Coger las pastillas.
The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does.
You've just picked up some magnesium. This item is stored in the bottom left corner of the screen above your character portrait. Use magnesium to heal your morale if you have morale damage.
Esta probablemente la fallemos, pero despertarlo.
You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. This man could probably sleep soundly in a ship's engine room.
Bueno, no pudimos despertar.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
¿Una hora?
Sweet Lord, a whole hour. And you haven't thought about rum and lemonade in all that time? You've truly extinguished all trace of yourself.
De hecho, ¿debería siquiera estar pensando en ello en este momento? Parece que lo de la bebida no me ha ido muy bien.
Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade into yourself, boy. Or better yet, lick that stain off the counter.
No estamos tan mal. No lamerla.
What happened, man? You used to be cool.
Ah,
Don't let your boring normal person drink then.
Nos aplicó la de Bart Simpson de antes era chévere.
Get your drink on and your act together.
Ah, ok. El letrero dice, comedor reservado para los miembros del sindicato. Apertura a las 4. Una máquina de pinball Royal está desconectada. Hola.
A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his foot on the floor. Looks like he's waiting for someone. As you approach, he narrows his eyes and extends his hand in greeting. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way to save you. You are sure of this, but why?
Estrecharle la mano.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be from the 41st.
You realize he's waiting for your name. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize.
No sabemos nuestro nombre. ¿Servirá esta?
Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon, but mixed with the stench of liquor rising from your breath. You're 2 steps closer to it, but there are still many to go.
La verdad es que no recuerdo mi nombre.
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here?
What he means is, he has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
¿Te refieres a él? Asentir en dirección al gerente. Sí, acabo de hacerlo.
If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. Now that I'm here as well. I understand the scene is out back, right? It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews?
¿Qué interrogatorios?
At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. You don't do that? Maybe it's not an inter-district practice.
Pues no.
Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at the coroner's case. Have you removed the dead body from the tree?
No me gustan los fiambres.
Sure. But did you take it down from the tree?
No.
So, the body is still in the tree.
Afirmativo.
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice. It is obvious he would have preferred for the body to no longer be in the tree.
Where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner.
¿Y si te dijera que no soy un agente de policía de verdad?
We all feel that way sometimes. There is no such thing as a police officer, I'm afraid. What remains is that there is a dead body in the tree. Someone has to figure out who put it there. If we don't, no one else will.
And then, soon after, dead bodies would be dangling from all the trees.
But first, we have to take it down.
¿Cómo estás tan seguro de que soy
I was
policía?
sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 41. You have the insignia of the citizens' militia on your sleeve and on your back. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia from the black market or forged it. But for now, I'm going to set those possibilities aside.
Inspectorate General means internal affairs. What he's saying is, he's not from the rat squad and isn't supposed to suspect such things.
Ah, te refieres al escuadrón de las
No need
ratas.
for derogatory terms. They're only doing their job.
Has dicho insignia. ¿Te refieres a estos rectángulos blancos? Señalarte la mano.
Yes,
Pero si solo son rectángulos
they're
blancos.
not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with the letters RCM and a pattern resembling the street grid of Revachol West. I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage, but again, it's none of my concern. I just need you to do your job.
Yo no debería tener una placa o algo
You
así.
mean you don't have a badge?
No la llevaba encima cuando
Losing
desperté.
your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly as possible. But getting the body down should still take precedence.
Pero es que no puedo recordar
I
nada.
can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern.
¿Qué decías que teníamos que
Talk to
hacer?
the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down.
Ok, al lío.
After you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk to him whenever by interacting with him.
Vamos a hablar con la señorita.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
¿Quién es Cielito?
Why, you are, officer.
No soy ningún cielito, miren.
You're a handsome man, officer, with your mustache and your chiseled jaw and that silly dimple on your chin.
Gracias, se lo
You
agradezco.
must forgive me. I'm getting so scatterbrained. I completely forgot to introduce myself. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Contrátala ahora mismo. ¿Le gustaría venir conmigo?
Whatever do you mean?
Quiero que sea mi compinche sobre ruedas, en la lucha contra el crimen, lidiando con fiambres en patios traseros y atrapando a asesinos en serie.
Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already have a partner, sweetie.
A partner who'll need you to help him get a corpse down from a tree.
Lo sé, pero también hay misterios secundarios, asesinos en serie e incursiones en lo
I
paranormal.
can assure you with absolute certainty, there are no sequence killings taking place in Martinez.
Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. I wouldn't be of much use to you anyway, sweetie.
¿Por qué? ¿Tres cabezas son mejor que dos? Eso es cierto, eso es verdad. Eso es verdad.
Thank you, but Martinez isn't the most wheelchair-accessible place, you see. I'd slow you down. Perhaps another time.
Así que en silla, ¿eh?
Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
¿Una granada combatió en una guerra?
No, dear. I'm not quite that old. Although I was injured in the line of duty.
Era usted alpinista, equilibrista. Me siento como si hubiera estado en la
Oh
guerra.
my. What happened?
Creo que perdí.
That's how I feel about the accident. I was a training and development manager at a rapidly expanding mail-order shoe company. You'd think it would be a safe job, but I had to be everywhere, and, well, once I happened to be under some faulty scaffolding. I was lucky. This was almost 20 years ago, and I was compensated exceptionally well. One can only dream of such payoffs nowadays.
Lo siento, he sido un maleducado al mencionar la silla de ruedas. Cambiemos de tema.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're thinking about it anyway.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
No sé si se ha dado cuenta, pero no sé ni quién soy ni dónde estoy, ni qué estoy haciendo, ni nada de nada.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad.
Bebí tanto que lo he olvidado todo, literalmente.
Oh my. You know where we are, right?
La verdad es que ni idea. En algún hotel de mala
A
muerte.
seaside hostel called the Whirling in Rags, to be precise. And the Whirling itself is in Revachol.
La verdad es que no sé nada sobre Revachol. ¿Qué clase de sitio
How would
es?
I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes?
Hasta si me la sé porque la vimos en el calendario. Estamos en la primavera del 51.
That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen. Knowledge should always be rewarded.
Nos llevamos un
Her
regalito.
relief is palpable. She was getting pretty worried about you there, but now she relaxes her shoulders.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government?
Me gustaría pensar que es la dictadura del proletariado, pero algo me dice que no es así.
Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought that way. Other people who wanted those things, but they all went extinct. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
But they still have cops.
Si no hay gobierno, ¿cómo es que hay
Oh
policías?
dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, not in the traditional sense. The status of law enforcement has been a complicated matter since the revolution. But we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like you need a break. Besides, I'm not the best person to explain the big things to anyone.
¿Qué es esta revolución que ha
A
mencionado?
defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something different. The rest of the world didn't like it, so they came and ended it.
América Latina. antes
This
del
was
plan-
42 years ago.
¿Qué tiene que ver eso con que no haya policía?
It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better.
I'm just a poor woman, she thinks. What do I know of these things? And how can I help you?
Esto, ¿qué tal lo he hecho?
You didn't do too well, dear. You really only knew what year it is. It does look like you're having trouble remembering things. History and places. Reality, in a word. It's very odd.
A sigh. The lieutenant buries his nose in.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. And while I'm no doctor, such bouts of amnesia are often temporary, so I wouldn't worry too much.
She means this sincerely. Worrying won't do you any good.
¿Quién podría contarme
Someone
más?
more educated in sweeping matters. Maybe you should ask.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person in Martinez.
Me tengo que
Of
ir.
course, dear. Good luck with your case.
Excelente.
Yes?
Creo que debería saber que no soy capaz de
No
recordar
response. He just. He's having trouble processing it. Believing it even.
Me da que tengo que volver a repetirlo. Pero de veras que no recuerdo nada. Una gran cantidad de alcohol.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Pero ni siquiera tengo la información más básica de la organización a la que pertenecemos. ¿Puedes
Fine.
ayudarme?
We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
Oh, este cuate es muy pragmático, ¿Qué hay de malo en los asuntos
Not a
personales?
fan. It's just the nature of lieutenancy.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for 2 sergeants and 8 officers. That means the average lieutenant has to deal with quite a few personal affairs. Even you know this.
¿En qué debería?
Try work, the case at hand. It can work miracles.
Me temo que esto es una situación médica.
Really? You look fine to me.
Estamos hablando de daños graves. Una destrucción inconcebible. Me miré en el espejo y no tenía idea
This
de...
psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire life.
No es psicológico. Me he provocado algún tipo de daño cerebral importante. En una escala sin
Then you
precedentes.
should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted?
Quiero hablar de
Me?
ti.
I don't
Sí,
see
de
how
ti.
my life is pertinent to the investigation.
Trabajaremos mejor juntos si nos compenetramos mejor.
That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's
Llevas
correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Las gafas molan,
Are they?
supongo.
They're mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
No te pareces a las otras personas
That's
de
because
por
I'm
aquí.
half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic.
¿Qué
It's
es
a part
Seúl?
of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
Tan solo haces que suene poco interesante. Aunque quiero saber más sobre
You're
Seúl.
barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholier.
A point of pride to him. He's glad to have shut down your question.
Sí, me esquivó, Cuéntame
No.
un secreto sobre ti.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure it has something. The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you.
¿Qué
Something
está
the matter,
pasando?
detective?
This guy's got authority off the charts. With just the flick of his eyebrow, he's able to make you his thrall.
¿Qué puedo
Nothing.
hacer al respecto?
You better hope he doesn't abuse his authority. There's a lot of it.
Gritar en
If the
silencio
lieutenant
pidiendo
were an evil man, who knows what sort of havoc he could wreak? Fortunately, he is a committed officer of the RCM. He'll only use his powers for the good of the investigation. The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
¿Alguna vez
What do
hablas
you
contigo
mean?
mismo? Pues cuando piensas, ¿alguna vez tienes conversaciones con tu
I
cerebro?
have no
Así
idea
como
what
yo.
you are talking about.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic.
Materiales y
But this
extrínsecos.
isn't an old school case.
¿Me estás diciendo que tu cerebro nunca te da consejos o
I
advertencias?
can't say that it does, no. When I need to think, I just use my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself take place. We all have our different medium.
Todos
His
tenemos
is written.
nuestras cosas.
Good.
Eso es todo por
Let's
ahora.
change the subject.
¿Qué me
Excuse me?
sigues?
You have
Nada, solo era una
a
observación.
distinctive way of walking. If I were to walk in front of you, we would surely collide. I hope you don't take this the wrong way. It's just a collegial observation. In the 57th, we call it the Jamrock Shuffle. Officers from Jamrock's 41st Precinct tend to move a bit erratically. They say it's a scene-clearing
dice?
technique developed by one of your lieutenants for gathering evidence. It's erratic, yet thorough, prioritizes containers.
¿Estás
I
de
don't
coña?
know.
¿Por qué los
Containers
contenedores?
contain, I guess. I'm making assumptions. We should move on.
Passing along frivolous interdepartmental stereotypes is not usually his oeuvre. He regrets bringing it up.
Bueno, lo voy a dejar hasta aquí. Continuamos directamente en el siguiente episodio. Muchas gracias por acompañarme, ya se la saben. Si no los llego a ver, buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. Tomen mucha agua, un abrazo y cuídense.